associated with ISF or India SME Forums in the last 5 years and helped to reach out to market in a much more better way, helped to even reorganize the way we do business. So we were one of the companies where in the HR and compliance space where we were invited, and the entire amount was paid by the government. So that was a wonderful thing, and the whole experience was very, very good. The entire team is fantastic. They're always available for helping you out. They just a WhatsApp or message away or a call away. And personally, I have never found an issue in reaching out to them. And at the same time, once we are engaged, a lot of opportunities has come my way. So I think anyone who's joining India SME Forum needs to keep, if they are very much interested to expand their business, they're very much interested how to expand the business, how to get money, how to get business planning, how to do the sales planning. I think India SME Forum really does well.
I'm associated with India SME Forum and my experience with them is incredible. The whole team is working 24/7 dedicatedly to help entrepreneurs in the country, especially the women entrepreneurs who belong from underprivileged sections, who is having language barriers, who doesn't have the ease of access to avail benefits and opportunities which the government is providing. For entrepreneurs like us, those who are working on small scale, for which it is very difficult for us to understand the guidelines given by government, so that we can work wholeheartedly, we can have ease of access, we can have ease to finances, we can have ease to opportunities.
We got associated with India SME Forum in 2013. We got exposed to a lot of new business opportunities and as well as international opportunities. And the end-to-end experience has been phenomenal through India SME Forum. They have been a great host and working towards common goals of betterment of SMEs in India.
Thank you SME for sponsoring my Las Vegas trip, which proved to be a very productive, profitable and encouraged trip.
My career got a boom when I connected myself with SME Forum. Here, they made me aware of GEM and also told me about the various schemes given by the Ministry of MSME to all the women entrepreneurs. Not only this, they also enlightened me to market my product in a different way, giving it a new dimension. Thank you SME Forum for all your support and guidance. Much appreciated.
India Small and Medium Enterprises Forum had given me an opportunity to showcase Northeast India's handmade product internationally by sponsoring my visit. The networking opportunities were very helpful, connecting me with different business people and also to understand the international market. Right now we are in the process of developing a self-sustaining village model in Manipur, including a project to extract essential oil and to cultivate aromatic plants.
India SME Forum has helped me to participate in international market and explore business opportunities. And even it's helped me to claim the cost of the education from the Ministry of MSME. ISF के जरिए मैंने पहली बार ग्लोबल मार्केट को समझा और उसमें काम करने के सर्विस स्टैंडर्ड को जाना.
We are from biotech healthcare industry. Genetics has been part of the India SME Forum for the last 6-7 years. It has brought us a lot of value and learning, and as a small industry benefits from part of this forum, I know, as well as coming from the Government of India.
India SME Forum has given me a big platform, and it is because of the opportunity I could come into contact of a bigger network, which is proving me very much helpful for my business. I look forward for the same support and opportunities ahead from India SME Forum.
हम लोग मैन्युफैक्चरर्स एंड एक्सपोर्टर्स हैं फ्लोर मिल्स एंड फूड प्रोसेसिंग मशीन्स के, और मुझे ISF के यूरोपियन कांग्रेस में जाने का सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ, जो कि पोलैंड में आयोजित हुआ था. इसमें जहां हमको बिजनेस की अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली, वहीं पर बहुत से लोगों से मिलने का सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ। एंड ये एक बेहतरीन अवसर था हमारे लिए अपने बिजनेस को यूरोप में बढ़ाने के लिए, और इसके लिए मैं ISF और MSME मिनिस्ट्री एंड डिपार्टमेंट दोनों का धन्यवाद देता हूँ। जय हिंद।
I would like to give my heartfelt thanks to India SME Forum for allowing me to participate in the Shakti 2020 Expo, which gave a big boost to my business and helped me to network. I would also like to thank them for making it free of cost, and I hope going forward I can participate in more shows and more expos.
Been associated with them for last 3 years, and the journey started by Global Space winning India SME Forum's SME 100 award, and since then they have helped entrepreneurs like me in many ways. Started with taking us to some international trips wherein it was a delegation for exploring business possibilities, and that gave us a lot of confidence and some opportunities which are critical for an organization of our size. India SME Forum has been a great support in terms of any other issues which crops up for budding young entrepreneurs like us. They have a lot of informative sessions, a lot of relevant and filtered information which are very, very important for a entrepreneur like us who may be neck deep into our operations, but these things get ignored. I would like to describe them as an apt and an ideal association for a budding entrepreneur like me.
सपनों की कोई एक्सपायरी डेट नहीं होती। एक छोटा सा सपना, उसी को साकार करने के लिए आप करते हैं मेहनत, आप जोड़ते हैं रिश्ते, उसी को मुमकिन बनाने के लिए आप रखते हैं हौसला। कदम छोटे हों या हों बड़े, कामयाबी की बुलंदी जब आप छूते हैं तो खुशी के आंसू तो हमें भी आते हैं। सफर में धूप और छांव दोनों आते हैं, पर सही वक्त में अपने ही तो साथ निभाते हैं। Here's presenting our range of business banking solutions. इतना कुछ ताकि आपका बिजनेस बढ़े और तभी साथ में सच हो हमारा सपना। As we believe in empowering businesses with solutions under a single roof. Kotak Business Banking Solutions.
When others feared what was to come, you saw a sliver of light, opportunity. And while some tried to go back, you're going all in. Rethinking, reinventing, smashing through new barriers and old fears. And we're right there with you, in the trenches, still grinding, still climbing, as you rally and rise. You are the one who can make this whole world turn. So be bold, be brave, be unstoppable.
Namaskar and good afternoon. A very warm welcome to all our viewers who have joined us today for this special webinar series under the aegis of India Exports Initiative. My name is Manleen Kaur and I'm your host for today. The India Exports Initiative aims to orient over 1 lakh potential MSMEs to become first-time exporters in order to double the number of current active exporters, which includes around 5,000 women entrepreneurs. The initiative and the India Exports Portal was launched on 29 September 2021 by the Union Minister of MSME, Sri Narayan Raneji. I take this opportunity to invite all of you to visit the portal on www.indiaexports.com, exports without an E. Registration on the portal is free and the information required to become an exporter is available in 9 languages. The initiative organizes sectoral webinars where we discuss specific sectoral export potential with different countries and sectoral opportunities with successful exporters, facilitators, experts, and policy makers. The webinar today is focused on gems and jewelry, which have immense export potential and is one of the leading export potential from India. Without taking much more time, I would like to introduce you to today's esteemed panel. So, first I would like to invite Sri R. Arula Nandan, Director, Export Promotion, Gems and Jewellery, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Department of Commerce. Welcome to you, sir.
Yeah. Good evening.
Now, I would like to invite Sri Sabyasachi Ray, Executive Director, Gems and Jewellery, Export Promotion Council. He has been working with Gems and Jewellery Export Promotion Council for over 23 years, working towards strategic partnerships with different organizations, bodies, associations, both in India and the world. Welcome to you, sir. Now, I would like to invite Sri Jayanti Bhai Savalya, President, Surat Jewellery Manufacturers Association, Chairman of Surat Jewel Tech Foundation and member of Indian Diamond Institute. He has an experience of 16 years in gems and jewellery industry. Welcome to you, sir. Now, I would like to invite Sri Rajiv Arora, co-founder Amrapali Jewels. He co-founded Amrapali Jewels at the young age of 21 as a way to bring Jaipur's incredible design to the forefront of India's jewellery sphere. Today, Amrapali stands confidently alongside some of the world's largest names in jewellery and is one of the biggest exporters in the sector. The brand also operates a museum of Indian jewellery in Jaipur. Also, to safeguard the interest of exporters, he has been chosen the President of Federation of Rajasthan Exporters for 3 terms. He is currently also heading Rajasthan's Congress Committee as a Vice President. Welcome to you, sir.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Neetu Bali, jewelry designer, Sundar Gems and Jewels, a lawyer, entrepreneur. She is also a renowned fine jewelry designer and manufacturer. She is the founder of her very own jewelry brand, Sundar Gems and Jewels, which is from Jammu. Welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Now, I would like to invite Ms. Pooja Mehta, CEO, Vrindavan Silver Craft. After a 3-year stint at a CA firm, she decided to take the entrepreneurial route. Presently, she is the CEO of Vrindavan Silver Craft, which is a landmark for silver artifacts in Bangalore since 1980, and also the co-founder of Honey Laser, which produces customized corporate souvenirs. Welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite Mr. Parag Shah, Director, HK Jewels Private Limited. HK Jewels Private Limited, a subsidiary of Hari Krishna Group of Companies and a partner of HK Designs. Under Mr. Parag Shah's inspiring leadership, HK Jewels Private Limited has grown steadily in B2B, exports, and international markets in a short period of time. He is now leading the rapid expansion of flagship domestic brand Kishna, which is already India's most distributed real diamond and gold jewelry brand. Welcome to you, sir.
Namaste. Thank you very much.
Now, I would like to invite Mr. Satyendra Singh, Area Sales Manager, UPS Express India. He has over 15 years of experience in the logistic industries. He has managed several roles in operations, finance, and sales, and has deep knowledge and experience of trade in gems and jewelry sector. Welcome to you, sir. The panel is moderated by Sri Vinod Kumar, President, India SME Forum. Welcome to you, sir.
Namaskar.
With this, I take pleasure in inviting the convener of this initiative, Mr. Pranab Junjarao, to share a brief on sector potential and opportunities for MSMEs. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Banhin. Thank you so much. Namaskar to all the panelists and all our esteemed panelists and attendees who are present right now. So we'll start with a short presentation to know exactly about what exactly this sector is all about, the export potential of this sector. Can we have the presentation, please? Next. So with this gems and jewelry sector industry in India holds a very significant place in Indian economy. India is the one largest exporters of gems and jewelry. The industry plays a very important role in the Indian economy as the major contributor to the total foreign exchange reserves of the country, and it is among the top 10 foreign exchange earners for the country. Next. Indian gems and jewelry sector contributes approximately about 7% to India's GDP, and the industry contributes 14% to the total merchandise exports from India. Indian gems and jewelry industry is the seventh largest exporter in the world, and the sector contributes around 3.50% of world exports, which is around a whopping $693.70 billion. When it comes to the global ranking, India ranks among the top 10 in various commodities, which includes cut and polished diamonds, gold jewelry, silver jewelry, color gemstones, and imitation jewelry. Indian gems and jewelry industry employs over 1.64 million people in India. The Indian gems and jewelry sector is globally recognized for the craftsmanship and a variety that it offers. But like over the last 3 decades, this industry has undergone a huge transformation, which is driven by industrial initiatives and government support. The sector has immense scope for growth, fueled by both domestic demand as well as exports. Now let us talk about the contribution of various commodities in gems and jewelry sector in the total gems and jewelry exports from India. If we talk about the cut and polished diamonds alone, it contributes around 64.39% of total gems and jewelry exports from India, where India is the major exporter of cut and polished diamonds with 29% share in world exports. Let us talk about the gold jewelry. Gold jewelry contributes 19.92% of total gems and jewelry exports from India, and it is the fourth largest exporter of gold jewelry in the world, with an 8.6% share in the world's export. It has seen a sharp decline in world exports of gold jewelry during this COVID period. So from around $100 billion of world exports in 2019 to around $66 billion in 2022, this sharp decrease has caused a change of order in the ranking for India from second rank to fourth rank in 2020. When we talk about the silver jewelry, it contributes 9.4% of total gems and jewelry exports from India. And India enjoys being the largest exporter in the world with 22% share in the world exports. Next. If we talk about lab grown diamonds, they contribute 2.51% of total gems and jewelry exports from India. And India is also the largest exporter of lab grown diamonds with 32.67% share in world exports. Next. And when it comes to rough diamonds, they contribute 1.99% of total gems and jewelry exports from India. Gold medallions and coins contribute around 0.96% of total gems and jewelry exports from India. And when we talk about color gems, they contribute around 0.71% of total gems and jewelry exports from India, where India being the fifth largest exporter in the world. India, when you talk about India as a whole, India majorly exports to USA, Hong Kong, UAE, Belgium and Israel. These are 5 countries which accounts for 99.81% of total gems and jewelry exports. If we talk about export share of these 5 countries, USA being 40% exports, Hong Kong is around 37% exports, UAE is 14%, followed by 5% Belgium and 4% Israel. And the last slide, this talks about export potential of this entire sector, where USA being the highest one, $17 billion, Hong Kong is $16 billion, UAE $12 billion, European Union and West Europe is $7.8 billion, Southeast Asia $3.2 billion. So with this, thank you so much. Can I invite the entire panelist and our moderator, Shri Vinod Kumar, to conduct this session? Over to you, sir. Sir, you are on mute.
Thank you very much, Pranav. It's a pleasure to be here and a pleasure to be present amongst all the friends that are here. We are still, I think everybody is here hopefully. We are joined today by 569 people from across the country. And these are those people that must be in the gems and jewelry trade. That is why they are here. So, I'd first like to go to Mr. Ray and request him to give us an overview. Gems and Jewellery Export Promotion Council is India's largest organization, which actually specifically deals with gem and jewelry exports. And we'd like to know from him, which way the winds have been blowing in terms of exports. There has been a certain amount of decline in exports from India, and let's understand from him the causes and also where does it hold potential and how can we reach that potential. Mr. Ray, please.
Thank you, Mr. Vinod Kumar. You are right when you say that in India, India has a huge potential, or rather we are leaders into gems and jewelry. So one of the things what our Gem and Jewellery Export Promotion Council, whenever we go to the world, we always tell is that if you know the world, today Italians are known for plain gold jewelry. They have the expertise in manufacture and exports of plain gold jewelry. Now, when you talk about Belgium, you also know that they are known about diamonds. So that way, colored gemstone, Thailand is known like that. So India is the only country, maybe the only country in the world where you have all the 3 components and we have all the 3 expertise equally of all the 3 components. Just now I was curiously seeing the presentation about different numbers and statistics. One of the numbers what we always nowadays we are going to the world and we are telling that of course in cut and polish diamonds we are number one in the world with 29.7%. This share is the trading of cut and polish diamonds throughout the world. The trading means it goes to and fro, etc., but that's okay. But still we are holding around hopping 30% of the world. But in diamonds where we have reached, I think we cannot go further, because we say, or rather in the Bain study which has happened, they are also saying the same thing, that 14 out of 15 diamonds set in jewelry world over comes from India. So though throughout the world we have heard about Belgian and etc., but now it is only the stories about Indian diamonds. So we are absolute monopoly there, and of course it is not without pitfalls. Or a lot of countries tried to work against us and trying to take this leadership position, like whether it is China, Thailand, Vietnam, all these countries. And time to time people also have tried to boost up other countries. But it is to the credit of our workers of this sector, who can give who can carve out 52 facets out of -2. What is -2? 200 of a carat. Carat is 3.4 grams. 200 of a carat you cannot see also. But these people are giving 52 facets successfully. And what we have told, that India has democratized the usage of diamond. That means before in US, of course, it was of the few and of the rich and famous. Diamond used to be owned by them. But the craving amongst everybody to own the diamonds, India has given fruits to this craving. Because of that we are here. So we have the cheaper quality diamonds, whatever, that means owning a diamond below 1 carat, that is India. And today they are absolutely, because nowhere in the world that is cut and polished, only in India. So that is absolute the Atmanirbhar Make in India story, what our Prime Minister says. And in this sector we have achieved with indigenous support and with a lot of very pragmatic policies of the government. Because I have seen also, I am also new, but when I see that in 5 decades ago, when of course, when diamonds, gems and jewellery in the control regime what India was there, and with the meager foreign exchange what we are having, at that point of time the government allowed the import of rough diamonds with special licenses, etc., spending the foreign exchange. That was a big policy decision, and that policy decision helped us to reach here. Now, the second thing what has happened, of course, in this background, once we have achieved the leadership, then of course we all talk about value addition, that means value added exports. The next progression was, of course, the studded jewelry export. So if you all have seen that the studded jewelry exports, again, India, it started from seeps, though all of you know that the name of this sector is, or this economic zone, SEZ, is Santa Cruz Electronic Export Processing Zone, the full form of SEEPS. However, this is now primarily a gem and jewelry export processing zone. After SEEPS, the Sitapura happened, Rajiv ji is from there itself. So all these, then the value-added exports happened. So that is how in studded jewelry also, we are now more or less ruling the world. So our 4th rank in the world over in terms of trading of jewelry. One of the principal reasons is the studded jewelry, where we have reached, and in US we are one of the largest exporter of studded jewelry. In between, of course, after the GSP was withdrawn, there were some pitfalls, we have gone down, but again we have recovered this position. And in colored gemstone, we are 5th ranking in the world over with 4.6% share, and in silver it is 20. We again in silver have made very strong strides with 22% share all world over in the trading, with first rank. And synthetic stones, of course, we are 2nd rank with 21.7% share, primarily for the Jaipur workers. So today, all these not only export, the domestic sector combined together, because we are a very strong plain gold jewelry sector and domestically. So that is contributing more than 4.8 million people, direct employment to the 4.8 million people. With exports this year, we will be reaching around $39 billion of exports. So what you are just now talking, that we experienced a sharp fall in the exports during the pandemic, because of course all of you understand during the pandemic people were more concerned about how they will get the food, how they will get the shelter, how they will come out of the disease. So that time of course the luxury goods like us have taken a beating, but this also I can tell our sector has come out of that phase in a very strong manner, and this year they have shown a very strong growth. And we are seeing that from that day also seeing the figures that from the pandemic the highest growth in exports other than petroleum etc is gems and jewelry. 71% growth has been shown in this 1 year, and we will continue with this growth. If you are telling me the next thing, what is the next thing in terms of gems and jewelry, as we have told that from diamonds we have gone to studded jewelry, then of course two of the things what we are looking now is plain gold jewelry. You have seen that the Indian government has signed a very important free trade agreement with it is called a comprehensive economic partnership agreement with UAE, which will give a foothold into the UAE market, and we can use UAE as a trading destination, because we all understand, but on the western side of India we have UAE, and the eastern side of India we have Hong Kong. Both are trading destination because of some obvious reasons, because in India we a lot of easy going business we may not be able to do, which can be done in Dubai and Hong Kong. So the world over they descend on Hong Kong and Dubai, and we can always take the benefit of the world purchase which is happening, or the mandi, what is called the mandi concept is too, we can take the advantage. So based on that, the Dubai will be working like, suppose if India is Atmanirbhar, the back end, the manufacturing zone, the front end, we can always use Dubai as a showcasing our jewelry and selling and using as a trading destination. So in our opinion, this will give a huge boost to the plain gold jewelry exports, which was showing some kind of a decline due to all these factors. And we have seen that our market was getting eaten by Vietnam, Indonesia, Singapore, etc. This is one area where we can grow. Another area where we are growing at a very fast pace is the lab-grown diamonds, because the diamonds are depleting stock throughout the world, and of course there's a new category which is coming up in the front. So lab-grown diamonds has shown a very robust growth, and only from $200 million this year we most probably will reach $1 billion exports, and in the next 3 years we are looking at a $5 billion of exports from lab-grown sector only. So this is another big area. The third area what I think we are looking at is the value-added exports, what we call a very high or couture jewelry export. That means the luxury jewelry exports is one area where there's a lot of value-added potential is there. That is where we are looking at it. And of course, as a council, we are talking that we will be in the next year, we are trying to reach at $75 billion of exports and around 8 million people employment. So there we are trying to add up some 2 to 3 million people employment, and also exports exponentially we are trying to grow. And of course all the FTAs, the free trade agreements, right now we understand that Australia is going very well, the free trade agreement with Australia, Canada and the UK is also on the pipeline. So all these agreements will help the gem and jewelry sector in a big way into reaching that targets whatever we are looking at. You're on mute, Vinod.
Excellent, Resab. I mean, that was a complete picture you put in front of us. I have three very important guests today, and all the three guests that I have, I completely, adore, I would say, and like. For example, Rajiv ji, he has built a complete brand from India, and which is working throughout the world. So I have Rajiv ji, I also have Farhad Saab, I also have Jitin Bhai, Jayanti Bhai. So all three of them, I would like to take this question to them, that if we are having the right vision, if we are having the right possibilities, what is it that is posing a challenge still? Because we have thousands of other SMEs, enterprises that want to come in and be a part of this gems and jewelry sector to take it forward. And I know a lot of women who are interested in running this sector. So I'd like to know from the experiences of Rajiv ji first, and then we can go to the other panelists.
Thank you, Vinodji, and thank you, Sabyasachi. Sabyasachi is very, very experienced, working from a long time with gems and jewelry sector. But by chance, Pranav has not mentioned what is also an important area of exports from India is fashion and costume. Sabyasachi ji, you also agree with me, because 10 years back, we used to make and export gold and silver jewelry. And now, because Amrapali is one of the only companies in the country who make jewelry for $5 and make jewelry for $500,000 also. So huge difference. But two of my factories in SEZ Sitapura, Sabyasachi was mentioning, almost 1,000 goldsmiths working only making fashion and costume jewelry, which is silver plated or gold plated. So it is not only earning a lot of foreign exchange for the country, but also providing a lot of employment. So I see a very big growth in this sector. After pandemic and because of Corona, there is economical and emotional backlash against China. And because of that, everyone from US or Europe, if you are ready to provide good quality product with a competitive price, they would like to buy from India, they would like to import from India, then from China. And this is a great advantage, like Sabyasachi also mentioned, exports have gone up. And for us, if 8 hours in a day, and if I have 10 factories, I cannot supply orders which people are ready to give us. So this is the position now, especially in the field of fashion and costume jewelry. There is a growing demand for silver jewelry also. Gold jewelry is also going up. Recently, because of this Ukraine war, the raw material is too much expensive. So now when we come some bottlenecks, raw material, what we use in our industry, whether we work with gold or silver or diamonds or color stones, they are all imported. So foremost thing the government should do, that there should be a very, very liberalized mechanism for importing things. So there should be less duty, less customs duty on gold and silver, and also it should be easily available. Like in Jaipur, before 2017, we used to get gold supply or silver supply by MMTC at the special economic zone. Now we do not get, and most of the time the stock is not available. And an exporter, if he needs only 1 kilogram gold, he cannot import it. It's too expensive. So availability of the raw material with a good price, if you really want to increase the exports from India. This is one requirement. Second very important thing is the technology is changing every 3 months, every 6 months. And if you want to avail some facility by EPCG, or if you want to take some kind of bank finance through SIGBI or from a nationalized bank for importing of a machine, you do not get, because the list of machinery which is allowed is very, very outdated. They do not change it every year. Like there's a technological change in CAM machine or CAG machine or even casting machines. But if you go to a bank, they will take out a manual and they will say that this particular machine, if you import, then we can give you this benefit. So it is very, very important that the Ministry of MSME or Ministry of Commerce, with the help of Gem and Jewellery Export Promotion Council, and also from the different associations, every year they should update the list of machineries which which are being used in the industry, so anyone can upgrade their industry. If we really want to compete with China or Italy, then we need upgradation. Similarly, the focus of FDI and foreign investment also should be in the gems and jewelry industry. There should be liberal laws. We should also try to get people from all over the world to come make India as a world jewelry manufacturing hub, because we have the skilled craftsmen, like Sabyasachi was saying, the skilled craftsmen cutting diamonds for 52 facets. Similarly, Jaipur is a big center for cutting and polishing color stones. And now we are also manufacturer. 30 years back, Jaipur was nowhere in jewelry export. When I exported silver jewelry in 1982-83, my export was some 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees. And the total export from Jaipur must be 20 lakhs rupees in a year. Now today, 50% of silver jewelry export from the country is from Jaipur. So you can understand what has changed in this time. So we should understand. This evening also, I have a meeting with the Sheikh of Sharjah is coming to Jaipur, and they want to invite businessmen from India, MSME, to come and work in Sharjah special tariff zone area. Sometimes Russell Khema people come, Dubai people, they come and they want investment there. So why not India should try and get investment in India in gems and jewelry sector? So there will be more employment, like 8 million people we are thinking we can achieve that. We can also increase our export. Also, there should be some common facility area in different zone and different associations. We talk about it, but it just never happens. And I am in the government. I can introduce myself. I am also the chairman of Rajasthan Small Industries Corporation with the rank of a minister. So this, I understand the difficulty faced by the small entrepreneur. I just joined a month back, but when we started the RICO industrial area here 20 years back, when there was, we started EPCS, EPP, Export Promotion Industrial Park. We said that there will be a common facility center, there will be a foreign post office, there will be a bank dealing with the foreign exchange, there will be logistic support. But till now, this is not happening. So we talk big when we invite industrialists, and then we change our policy. We had 2 large units in Sitapura. Then they said that if you go to SEZ, you will get a tax benefit for 15 years. And in between, this benefit was, abolished. The MAC scheme came. Yes. So we should have long-term policies. And I'm surprised when Prime Minister announced 18 projects made in India. How can he forget, he comes from Gujarat, that jewelry should be also part of the Make in India project, We are top foreign exchange earner. So we should all do a strong lobby to be part of this whole scenario. I am sure there's a great future. We can all make it happen. And Council can play very, very important role in this, can be a very good bridge between the manufacturers and traders and the government. Thank you.
In fact, Rajivji, 2 things that I'd like to share with you. The recent webinar after the budget, which was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister, one of the focused industries is gems and jewelry. And, gems and jewelry, textiles, these are huge areas of, labor-intensive areas which the government is pushing on. In fact, there is a plan already submitted to the PMO on this. But I'm sure, in due course of time, you will find we also have the honor of, Mr. Arlanandan. He's also here, so he will also, I'm sure, talk about the various facets that we are looking at. But from my perspective, the meeting with Mr. Piyush Goyal and others during this Made in India webinar has been very, very constructive, and they have taken very openly to the entire suggestions. I'd like to now go to Parag Bhai and also see what are the other things that he would like to add, whatever we might have missed so far. Parag Bhai?
Yeah. Thank you, Vinod bhai. And happy to be a part of, as you said, 550 plus entrepreneur across this industry. And was very happy to hear the words of Sabyasachi with wonderful numbers and a very high aspiration to be a 75 billion and 8 million people. So we seem to be a very few lucky people of India to be in this trade. And as mentioned by you all, that government is also very focused on this industry being the highest revenue earner. So going back to this, there are many issues being faced by the industry, challenges being faced by the industry. But I've seen hopefully that the council is very serious about it. Even the government is very serious and helping out us in many areas. But when it comes to as an entrepreneur to us, I has always been felt that the world or the lady or a female in the world requires a designing, definitely there are the issues to manufacturing, but designing is an important element for any woman buying a jewelry. So this is one more area where we need to focus on skilling them more precisely. And being there are many new technologies coming in, the fusions of the technologies which we can definitely create a new inspirational designs. As lately always been heard as a competition of white goods in front of a jewelry, but looking at the growth of jewelry, I always felt that any woman always aspires for the jewelry, at least a few piece of it. And if you see the number of women across the world on this platform, it's very huge. आधा इंडिया भी अगर हेरोइन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बनाना शुरू कर देगा ना, we cannot catch up. That's what I feel.
Very good.
That was one aspect of it. So fusioning of it. Other part was definitely trying to build such a huge labor, but we need to understand the design's integrity and the manufacturing aspects of it, because everybody wants to be very qualitative, price sensitive, and when it comes to the exports, the other side of the people importing it always wants a right product in their hands, because there are a lot many challenges faced by the exporters again in terms of getting the goods back returned, and in terms it's a loss of time of the entire supply chain. That's what we definitely like, and we are taking utmost care, I see, because that's where the growth lies in. And as mentioned about the some few common facilities, definitely, because the technology, you get every technology in 3 months, and it is very difficult for an individual or in a company to have that kind of technology, or to understand, because it's when you have some new technologies, you face a lot of challenges to run that technologies. Money is only not the part of it, but how to run it. So the setup, I think the Gems and Jewellery definitely is trying hard to set up that common facility, at least in Mumbai, because they are trying very hard. But yeah, so this helps us a lot, to make R&D research, because then only we are able to produce that. Looking at, we have seen that the Ministry of Commerce also is very actively supporting us in many ways as far as you raise your concern, and council is trying to put on across them. So, and they might be having some few challenges from their side. एक हम हमारा छोटा कंपनी चलाने में इतने सारे challenges face कर रहे हैं, तो council को और minister पे तो कितनी challenges आएंगी definitely. So when we take this responsibility mostly on our head as an entrepreneur, I speak as an entrepreneur. So it makes things easier and move faster. That's what we always felt into. And definitely, as we are looking after for the new avenues, like as Sabyasachi mentioned about the luxury goods. So there where the skilling is more important, because when you speak of luxury, it's high end. Still now we used to see the India exporting low end goods, and then gradually we have been moved up slowly, step by step. So now when we have an aspiration to do a luxury, definitely high skilling of the force is required. And again, adding a new force, again, it may be the government or the council or the common people like the entrepreneurs of factories like us who can help them out. But definitely this is what I am looking for. And what we have observed over the time is that it's always growing. Definitely challenges are always there, and there where the opportunity lies. But as far as when we started the business long back and over the years, we have always been seeing the opportunities in this industry. And that's what I want to share with you guys.
Thank you.
Excellent, Parag Bhai. Jayanti Bhai, now we need, you have heard Rajiv sir also, and you've also heard Parag Bhai. So what are your feeling? What is your feeling about challenges that are still existing, that are not allowing us to grow beyond what we are able to grow?
थैंक यू विनोद जी। हाँ, आज के जो हम जहाँ बैठे हैं वहाँ तो पूरे सूरत है, वहाँ पूरा डायमंड कटिंग का पॉलिशिंग का हब है। धीरे धीरे यहाँ एमएसएमई जो रहते हैं वो एमएसएमई ज़्यादातर रहते हैं। पूरे गुजरात के 51% एमएसएमई सूरत में एक सिटी पूरा कर रहे हैं। और आज की तारीख में एमएसएमई के अगर कोई चैलेंजिंग है तो सबसे बड़ी चैलेंजिंग होती है स्किल पावर या मैन पावर की। आज जिस हिसाब से हम लोगों को आफ्टर कोविड के हिसाब से जो अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली है पूरे वर्ल्ड की जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरी के लिए, हम लोगों को जो यहाँ जो ज्वेलरी बना के एक्सपोर्ट करने का जो चाइना ट्रेड वॉर को आप देखो, या आफ्टर कोविड के वजह से यूरोप यूएस मार्केट का जो काम जो यहाँ मिल रहा है, उसी के कारण हर एक फैक्ट्री को कहीं ना कहीं चैलेंज ये है कि अपने को स्किल पावर, अभी सबसे ज़्यादा पावर स्किल पावर, क्योंकि यहाँ डायमंड कटिंग की होती है। लेकिन इन 2 सालों में ये वैल्यू एडिशन जब बताया था कि वैल्यू एडिशन, आज वैल्यू एडिशन सूरत में सबसे ज़्यादा होने लगा। आज की दिन में यहाँ 450 से प्लस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट, ज्वेलरी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट, अभी ये 2-3 साल में इतना प्रोग्रेस हो रही है। और आगे जाके जिस हिसाब से हमारे पास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर आ रहा है, जैसे कि सूरत डायमंड बूस्ट, जो पूरे वर्ल्ड का सबकी नज़र ये सूरत के ऊपर है कि यहाँ सूरत डायमंड बूस्ट आएगा। उसके बाद जो स्किल पावर चाहिए जिसकी हम लोग कल्पना नहीं कर सकते, जैसे यहाँ जैसे कोई सूरत डायमंड बूस्ट चालू होगा तो यहाँ कितना वर्क फोर्स लगेगा। उसके अलावा यहाँ जब डायमंड का सोर्सिंग इधर इजीली मिलना चालू हो जाएगा तो डायमंड ज्वेलरी का भी इतना सारा स्कोप बढ़ने वाला है कि उसके लिए भी स्किल पावर बहुत सारा चाहिए। और दूसरी कि हर एक वर्ल्ड में हर एक कंट्रीज के अंदर ज्वेलरी हर एक को चाहिए, तो हर एक के लिए हमारा एमएसएमई के लिए बहुत अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी पूरे वर्ल्ड के अंदर है। और सबसे बड़ी बात तो है कि आज छोटे छोटे एमएसएमई की बात करते हैं तो बहुत सारे लोग को सोशल मीडिया, आज ऑनलाइन पोर्टल जो देखे, अमेजोन है, ईबे है, या कोई सोशल मीडिया जैसे कि इंस्टाग्राम वगैरह, बहुत इजीली सेल परचेज कर सकते हैं। लेकिन सबसे ज़्यादा चैलेंजिंग ये भी है कि जो लोग छोटे छोटे समझ लो कोई सेल कर रहे हैं तो उसके लिए यहाँ अभी लॉजिस्टिक, जैसे कि कोई छोटा $1000-2000 का अगर कोई पार्सल लगाना तो सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, क्योंकि उसका कस्टम क्लियर नहीं होता है। या उसको अगर 1000 की कोई वैल्यू का अगर एक्सपोर्ट करना है तो उसका खर्चा $1500 का है। तो ऐसी बहुत सारी चैलेंजिंग आ रही है जिसके वजह से कहीं ना कहीं हमारा एक्सपोर्ट कहीं ना कहीं कम हो रहा है। अगर इस दिशा में हम लोग अगर काम करें कि एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ाने के लिए, एमएसएमई के लिए अगर आप अच्छे तरह से हम लोग प्लान करें तो ये जो लॉजिस्टिक है या छोटा छोटा पार्सल के लिए कोई अच्छी पॉलिसी बना के अगर करना चाहे तो बहुत अच्छी ये जो छोटे व्यापारी है तो उसको, और ये जो ऑनलाइन पोर्टल में या सोशल मीडिया से कोई काम कर रहे हैं उसके लिए बहुत ईजी है। आज बहुत सारे लोग कहीं ना कोई तरीका ढूंढ के वो एक्सपोर्ट तो कर ही रहे हैं। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ी चैलेंज है। और वैल्यू एडिशन में मैंने बताया कि सूरत के अंदर बहुत अच्छा स्कोप आगे जाके भी आने वाला है वैल्यू एडिशन। और ये ई कॉमर्स में भी मैं बताया कि ई कॉमर्स के अंदर भी बहुत अच्छा स्कोप है। अगर आप चाइना की देखें कि एक अली एक्सप्रेस या अली बाबा का कुछ एग्जांपल देखिए तो हम लोगों को इतना इजीली आप एक्सपोर्ट कर सके, तो छोटे लोगों को इजीली एक्सपोर्ट, आज छोटा एक पार्सल करना है, एमएसएमई के पास इतना वर्कफोर्स नहीं होता कि वो एक पार्सल करने के लिए जितना डॉक्यूमेंटेशन वगैरह है वो हर एक पूरा नहीं कर सकते। इसी के कारण कहीं ना कहीं हमारा एक्सपोर्ट रुकता है या कोई है। तो ऐसे छोटी छोटी ज्वेलरी के लिए इजी स्मूथ अगर कोई प्रोसेस बनाए और इजीली एक्सपोर्ट करे तो अपना ये पूरे वर्ल्ड में है, जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरी के लिए बहुत अच्छा स्कोप एमएसएमई सेक्टर के लिए है। थैंक यू।
बिल्कुल सही बोला आपने जयंती भाई। इनफैक्ट एमएसएमईज की ही हम बात कर रहे हैं बार बार, क्योंकि बड़ी कंपनियों को तो पता है कि हमको क्या करना है, कैसे मार्केट सक्सेस करने हैं, कैसे लोग लगाने हैं, कैसे लॉजिस्टिक्स हैंडल करना है। लेकिन छोटी कंपनियां जहाँ पे आती हैं, छोटे एंटरप्राइजेस की जहाँ बात करते हैं तो वहाँ इशू बन जाता है कि भाई मतलब गवर्नमेंट से डील करना, एक्सपोर्ट करना, इम्पोर्ट्स में रॉ मटेरियल मंगाना और फिर फाइनली फाइनल प्रोडक्ट को भेजना, वो भी वाजिब दामों पे, ताकि थोड़ा सा पैसा तो बचा रहे। तो बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने। इनफैक्ट मैं इस टाइम पे आई थिंक हम सब लोगों ने बोल लिया, काफी लोगों ने बोला और एसोसिएशंस के सब लोगों ने बात करी इस बारे में। तो मैं चाहूंगा अब अरुण नंदन सर हमको थोड़ा अवगत करवाएं कि गवर्नमेंट क्या सोच रही है इस सेक्टर के बारे में। कुछ अच्छी चीजें हुई हैं, एसईजीज के बारे में वापस गवर्नमेंट डिस्कस कर रही है, सेपा ऑलरेडी साइन हुआ है, ऑलरेडी हम लोग फोकस भी रख रहे हैं कि भाई जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरी सेक्टर पे ये मेक इन इंडिया सीरीज पे वापस स्ट्रेस दे रहा है। तो आखिर क्या एक्सपेक्ट करें हम लोग गवर्नमेंट से एक्सपोर्ट्स बढ़ाने के लिए अगले कुछ सालों में?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Vinod Kumar. Thank you for such an opportunity. With respect to your specific question related to what is the government doing about the exports, I would like to mention few of the known facts which are already in the public domain. That is, and while talking about one of the speaker, that is Mr. Rajiv Arora, was mentioning that we need a common facility, and this was seconded by Mr.
Mr. Paraksha.
Paraksha, yeah, Paraksha was
Yes, yes.
also advocating the same, and with us, Mr. Sabias Echire is amongst us. So, and he was talking about common facility center. We are also of the view that such a common facility would be very helpful to the industry as a large. However, there are some funding issues which needs to be worked out together, and we need to come out of the existing gaps in the schemes. That's on the one hand, MSME is also implementing such a scheme. I do understand, but while I was going through the list, there are hardly 8 to 10 projects from gem and jewellery sector, and that also very old projects. We are not witness to any recent proposals for the DC MSME. So I'm sure the industry is looking at such an existing scheme and simply apply to partake the benefits. It's not that a lack of scheme, but it is something awareness. And when market leaders like you are sitting, and there's a need for us to educate the our brothers in the sector and come up with the mechanism. That is one thing. And when I mention about that the funding pattern, a certain responsibility needs to be taken by the export community or the domestic community in large. And while government is willing to partner with such interested associations, and it's also looking at taking ownership of such schemes. So these are the things at work, and this is the thought process presently. That's number one. And coming to your point, Mr. Vinod Kumar, you were mentioning that regarding SEPA and all this thing. How is that Atmanirbhar is going to be promoted further? Okay, generally, India is a country with whose average tariff are higher, higher in the sense. And when we are signing an FTA, we are making them zero. The question comes is whether we will be at a disadvantage and our domestic industry will be facing threat. The answer is no. And in the sense that there are value addition norms, rules of origin norms built into the process, and our export council is onboarded in each CEPA or FTA. And we are all working for protecting. I'm not using the word protecting, but we are in a way that we are looking at it holistically, so that neither we are exposed to sudden competition or sudden incidents from the world. So that is two things. And now coming to what is that government is doing for exports. We all know that we are a market leader in diamond, and like we are sharing about 75% of the world's value addition in diamond sector. We are also good at emerald, tanzanite, and morganite, and many other gemstones. And he would vouch for me, Mr. Arora, that he said we started with 2 lakh about rupees and exports, and where we are is known to all of us. Okay. So I would request the industry also to look at untapped potential in many of the sectors. And one such sector we would like to flag is It's all known to you, but however, it's my duty to inform in this forum that one is lab grown diamond and the imitation or fashion jewelry, whatever you call it. And interestingly, dear participants, that in the recent budget regarding the raw material for the fashion jewelry, and you know that we were getting very cheap imports dumped at our doorsteps with below market cost. So the government has come out and it was sometimes engaging our attention, and DOC also has recommended for increasing the hike so that our industry, then again it comes to Atmanirbhar, we are not unduly wiped out in the when the market is not genuine international market. So there was a duty of about 400 rupees per kg. You know, this was sold at 250 rupees, but when there is a duty of 400 rupees per kg, and this step is we see as a wonderful step in taking care of our industry's requirement, and also in improving the export potential of the fashion jewelry. And as I mentioned, that lab grown diamond is next in line for as we are looking at natural, anything natural is having a exhaustive and time period. So, and you will all agree with me that after a few decades that we are going to look at lab grown diamond, which is no way less than natural diamond. Then there was a mention about by Mr. Arora that we are not getting gold in the era when MMTC is importing. The availability of gold is an issue. Yes, it's true to a large extent that, and I would like to flag that there is a in International Financial Center Authority at that is Gandhinagar. There's a international bullion exchange is coming up, and we are onboarded from time to time on this. And at present, right now, the two notification issued. One is recognizing this exchange for a future trading activity, and also the definition of the threshold limit for the defining a jeweler who can participate in this business activity. When we started the process, it all started about 75 crore. That's now with the help of our stakeholders, and GJPC is also on the same page, that we have defined who is a qualified jeweler, that is at 25 crore with a turnover. These steps are like we feel that they are more of equity and bringing in more participation. This is one. And then since our domain is for export promotion, I would like to mention 2-3 aspects, quick aspect without taking much of your time. There's a tie scheme. Please look into that. There's a trade infrastructure for export scheme, which many of the tie schemes are successfully running, which we have a good experience with the Export Promotion Council. And please look into such schemes available in the open domain. Please look into partaking the benefits. Now, second is market access initiative. So for organizing events in India and abroad, and also for conducting studies and all those things. These are two things that please look into it. And we are here with the open mind. We are always ready to resolve the challenges faced by the industry. And whatever solutions that and policy intervention in the form of regulatory aspect, government schemes has to take place. We are at your you can count us always. And it was well said that India is a leader in many of the sector, and we need to retain this position not only for earning foreign exchange, but it is an important sector for giving a large employment potential. And even though this sector is kind of looks organized, but the employees and carriers are predominantly in the unorganized sector. And many of you will agree with the what working condition they live in. And it's very, it's my duty to mention that there is one health scheme by our Export Council. Sabya Sachi can mention about this subsequently, Swasthya Ratna. And I had personally experienced that many of the workers have benefited for the reimbursement, what are the hospitalization expenses. So this is a voluntary scheme promoted by our, I'm proud of that. And there are many leaders, thought leaders and business leaders here. Look into like how you can onboard yourself on such a project. Every time the apart from government measures, this is an industry-led measure, and please look into those aspects. And with this, I will once again thank all of you, including Mr. Vinod, Pranav, and my dear
Pleasure
colleagues,
is all ours, sir.
Jayanti Pai, Neetu Bali, Pooja Mehta, and everyone present here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. In fact, we've heard Mr. Adlanandan talk about what the government is doing and all that. I'd also, at the same time, he was also referring to the fact that what is the private industry doing to support logistics and all the other things. We have Satyendra ji here today, and I'd like to go to him and ask him. UPS is a well-known brand around the world. It's a large company which assists in logistics and solutions and all. What is it that UPS is primarily doing, especially for small and medium enterprises in the gems and jewelry sector? How are you making our lives easier by in this sector specifically? Because it's a very potent sector, potent stuff that we send out, so needs a certain amount of security and so on and so forth.
So thanks, Vinodji. Thank you very much for inviting us in today's session for Gems and Jewellery. And you asked for about UPS role in this segment, okay? So just to share that local business and especially SMBs are a key focus area for UPS. Our purpose is to move our world or our customers by delivering what matters to them. So in terms of what UPS is doing, we have started a new freighters from Delhi to connect to Cologne in Germany. It's a 5 days a week dedicated flight between Delhi and Germany. This connects India directly to Europe and onwards to North and Latin American markets. It also doubles UPS capacity from India for SMBs who are looking to grow their revenue base. Our express terminal in Delhi is the largest facility for UPS in India and support businesses in North India to gain faster access to market in the West and the North American and Latin American countries. So we give customer the dual advantages in terms of strength and scale of our smart logistic network, which covers 220 countries and territories worldwide, along with a consultative approach. This allows us to zoom in with solutions that give customers an opportunity for the challenges they face into the supply chain. Our sales and solution team first analyzes their existing operation and goals, what they are looking for, then formulates a set of solutions with tools and changes to help build a better network and cost efficiencies. In terms of tracing and tracking, technology tools of UPS help each and every customer for end-to-end tracing and tracking of their shipments. So our digital integration and technology process capabilities provide improved shipment visibility. So these are a couple of things in terms of UPS, what we are doing for this industry segment. So we
how cost effective, Satyendra ji, how cost effective is this? When it comes to small enterprises, that is one of the major concerns all of us have when it comes to like Jayanti Bhai talked about कि प्रोडक्ट मतलब 1000 रुपए का है तो उस पर ऐसा नहीं कि 1500 रुपए का लॉजिस्टिक्स का कॉस्ट लगे तो फिर तो आदमी मर जाए. तो स्मॉल एंटरप्राइज के लिए वो बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो how is your pricing vis-a-vis some of these issues?
So Vinodji and all the panelists, in terms of pricing, this is subjective to customer, okay? The product is very sensitive. They are very high. I'm not talking about the fashion jewelry or costume jewelry, but majorly the things we are discussing here is more of high valuable shipments, okay? They are time sensitive. They need better holding, better controlling from end to end. They need better security measures so that this is not lost. So in terms of pricing, we can connect individually to the customers, which who needs our support, where we can engage with them one-on-one, but it cannot be a generalized pricing for each and every sector.
Okay. Okay. In fact, we were talking about the fact that a lot of people have been saying that there's a huge potential when it comes to logistic services for the gems and jewelry business, and you know. There is a requirement for actually setting up a network throughout the country wherever we have clusters of gems and jewelry, whether it is for silver based or whether it is for non precious or semi precious jewelry, and that I think is UPS looking at doing in the near future as a market leader.
So Vinodji, in terms of UPS capabilities, as I shared already, we have export clearance capabilities. We have a dedicated flight between India to Cologne, Germany, and then onward connection to North and Latin American countries. In terms of handling, we have best-in-class logistic network. And in terms of one of the critical requirement of the industry is, predictability and visibility of their shipments. And we have that technology advanced, and we have that capabilities in our network which can support this industry.
Excellent. Thank you very much. ये बड़ा important था आपको पूछना. I'd like to go back to our friends. We have two very young entrepreneurs, designers, Neetu ji and Pooja ji. So both of them, I'm going to ask. You are budding entrepreneurs. You are building up a great business. You are designers of your own with a certain caliber. राजीव जी ने बोला 21 साल की उम्र में उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया और तब से आज जिस मकाम पे है वो हम सब लोग को पता है. तो आप लोग को क्या चैलेंजेस आ रहे हैं आज की तारीख में? जब राजीव जी ने स्टार्ट किया तब तो चैलेंजेस थे ही थे, तब तो कोई कर ही नहीं रहा था. अब तो थोड़ा देखिए राजीव जी जैसे लोग, पराग साहब, जयंती भाई, all of us are here and we are trying to make things easier. But what do you feel are the challenges that you still continue to have as small entrepreneurs or medium entrepreneurs? Yes, Pooja ji, you can go first.
Yeah. So thank you first of all for inviting me to be a part of this forum. As a young entrepreneur and someone who's recently got into exports, firstly, it was very overwhelming. It is quite intimidating in the beginning, thinking of entering a new country, not being aware of what the requirements would be, what kind of market it is my product the right fit for the market, right fit for the customer that I am targeting. So all this gets a little intimidating in the beginning. So I think in the beginning, it's better to start with research, start with talking to people, being part of forums like GJPC has been great help, SME Forum has been of great help. So being part of all of these forums makes us educated on where we can target our products or how we can price our products. In terms of challenges, I think again the transportation, finding the right logistic partner in the beginning, because not every logistic partner is capable of handling high value items. You need to work with a lot of them, find who would handle your products in the best way. Also, in terms of pricing, the transport cost sometimes exceeds the price of the products. How the items need to be packaged, what are the requirements in the markets abroad. So it's usually the bigger companies who are aware of all of this. But being budding entrepreneurs, sometimes the nitty-gritties are overlooked, and that's where we face issues in terms of the logistics, shipping, high value items needs to be packed. The drawback part of it, the government incentives, what is available to us, how we can make the most out of it. So I think this is where we need to look into, being able to get young people not being intimidated by the export part of it, and education. So yeah.
Completely agree with you. Completely agree with you, Pooja. And it is incumbent on us as industry leaders to actually ensure that young people which are coming into this industry are, supported, familiarized with the entire thing, brought into forefront, whether it's in terms of incentives or all the other possibilities that the government offers. And you're absolutely right there. It is very, very important for us to actually take it forward. Neetuji, what are your views?
I would like to add to what Pooja said. First of all, thank you for having me on board such a prestigious panel. I'm really delighted to be a part of this. It's been a great learning for me. And I would like to add on to what Pooja said. When we start out, we don't have the right knowledge, as she said. So I'm going to add on to that and say that there should be some kind of a single window system where the budding entrepreneurs can be made aware of the taxations, the custom duties, and things like that. So I would like to suggest that because I am based in Jammu, and here for everything I have to run to Delhi. So it is not a metro. I'm at a far-flung place as far as jewelry hub is concerned. So when I wanted to go abroad for my show, I had to run to Delhi for everything. So it was very tedious and very challenging for me. So I would like to suggest that since J&K is exporting so much of stuff, so there should be a provision for the jewelry sector as well. One thing I would suggest is that, and the secondly, we don't have any international testing facilities for diamonds and gemstones. That is another challenge I personally face. So I can only talk from my own experience. I'm a budding entrepreneur, so won't know anything much. So what I have faced is the lack of international jewelry labs over here. And the process is not, the knowledge is not known to us. So there should be a single window system where we can know, because now e-commerce is picking up. So people like me can add on to the exports because we are small enterprise. We are not even medium. So speaking from my experience, I would just like to suggest that there should be a provision for people like us who want to add on to the exports, but who are not aware of what is happening. And even if JJPC was great, I mean, I had a wonderful experience with JJPC. They guided me so well. It was, I went all alone and I could do it because of their support. So I would like to add on that it is very important for people like us to have that kind of knowledge. And people should be able to guide us, like if we want to export to a particular country, what are the norms over there? Sure. Because we are not traveling anymore. The pandemic has hit us so badly. So we are operating from India only. We cannot travel to our will. So it should be made convenient to us. Another thing, I am too small an enterprise in this sector. I mean, I don't figure anywhere greatly. So, but I still feel that whenever we earn, we should give back to the society as well. Like Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises doing, and JJPC is doing. They have this scheme for health scheme for people, the unorganized sector. I feel very concerned for them because a lot of my job work is done by the unorganized sector. So they should be provided a skill development, like from institutions. They are learning from their father. It is from generation to generation. But I think we should set up such institutions which can give our industry skilled people. One thing that will make us Atmanirbhar, that will add on to our expertise. Secondly, they will be benefited because they will be skilled as such. So they will be provided employment in better terms. Because our industry is mostly handcraft, it is handicraft. It is all, the machinery is used to a certain extent. Now everything new is coming, as everybody said, but still, or kundan work, our polki work is still done by hand. So I would suggest people that they can move from this sector to the more modern sector if we give them the right infrastructure. So that would be helpful for us as far as exports are concerned. And that will be
I
helpful
agree.
for the people. So
I
these
agree.
were
I
some of
agree.
the challenges I faced and some of the suggestions that I had. But I've been really privileged to be a part of this forum. Thank you so much for
This
having
is
me
all
here.
ours, Neetuji. In fact, what you rightly pointed out in terms of infrastructure, one of the few things that I have found, and Rajivji, this goes out to all the states. Most states, when we are looking at industrial spaces or centers for clusters, we tend to auction plots of land. We do not tend to create plug and play facilities where new entrepreneurs can come in, new designers can come in, use the newly built area, and then build up their business from there. Everybody has to start from the very basics, which is like, I will go in some place and then build a factory, and then it's like a three-year program that most of us have. In fact, we are also talking to various states, that most states wherein you have clusters of labor intensive industries, we should have plug and play mechanisms where entrepreneurs can just come in, set up their shop, and start working from day one. And that might be very useful in the future. In fact, Rajivji, I wanted to come to you. In this round, I'd like to stress on the fact that today we are online. Today, most of the world is trying to shop online, is trying to sell online, and brand building seems to be easier online than it was offline. Wherein you have spent so much of time in building a brand, taking it to Hollywood, taking it to places around the world, even in our own film industry. How important is brand building? We have 800 plus viewers right now which are watching this. So I'd like you to please tell us, how important is brand building, and is it that difficult as it seems, or can it be made easier when it comes to taking the India brand to the world?
Very good question, Vinod. Brand building is so important. First of all, just to create the environment of faith in your customers. So when they buy something from a brand, they feel that whatever is written or whatever is said, like if there's a purity of gold is right or purity of silver is right, the stones are good. If you say that they are not synthetic, they are genuine. So brand building helps a lot. I did my MBA in marketing, and when I started my business, uh, I learned in my course that if you make a good design, then you should flood the market with that design and skim the cream. So they used to use this word, skim the cream. मलाई दूध पे से खा लो आप उतार के बाद में otherwise people will copy you. And when I started Amrapali, I thought that I will not do that. I will do absolutely contrary to that, and I will make only one of a kind pieces. So for maybe 35 years, all my important pieces, even in silver, they were one of a kind. So people used to come, like you said, Hollywood, Bollywood, presidents of nations, head of nations, they used to come to Amrapali to buy because they want to buy something which is unique and which is one of a kind. And if they go to a ceremony, function, or a party, they should not find anyone else wearing that. And that was by way of making a brand. But when we also came in online space, I have this company, Tribe Amrapali. We made multiple pieces because it is an aspirational brand. So I will not tell the new designers to do what I have done, because that was a difficult task. Because if you have to buy best of Amrapali, you have to visit all my shops to Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, Chennai, or Bangalore, because you will not find a similar piece in one shop. So if you want to buy the best, if you are in Calcutta, go to Amrapali. If you are in Jaipur, buy here. It was a difficult task because I had less financial support, and I never believed in doing any kind of advertising in the newspapers like other jewelers they do. So our publicity was mouth to mouth. People, when they wear in a movie, or if they use it in a TV show like Kiran Kherji used for India's Got Talent, or when I did Mani Karnika or Bahubali or Ramlila, I have done almost 100 movies till now. From the movie The Troy, there was articles in the newspapers, in magazines, in New York, in Washington, in Mumbai, in Delhi. So it was a very, very difficult task, a different way of promoting your brand, because we wanted to make it for the people who have very discerning eye and they want to buy a piece of art when they buy. I like what Neetu was saying, that we should give back to the society in terms to the Karigars, yes. And also, when I started my business, I was too much inspired by our rural and tribal art. And I traveled from north to south and east to west and collected pieces, old tribal silver jewelry. I sold also, but kept few pieces aside. And now it is one of the world's largest collection which we have in Amrapali Museum. I have almost 4,000 pieces of silver and gold jewelry, and it is the best gift I can give to the city of Jaipur. Because that's my personal collection, my partner's personal collection, which should go to my daughter or my daughter-in-law. Actually, now it's in the museum, so it is for the public. It's in public domain. Anyone can come, designers can come and see. So learn, earn, and return. So this should be your aim in life. आपने यहीं पे सीखा है, यहीं पे कमाया है और यहीं पे आपको वापस दे के जाना है. लेकिन branding is very, very important, and you can be a good brand. How people perceive you. There are many other jewelry brands in India who has maybe 10, 20, 50 times more turnover than what we do. But in fashion world, or when people, like when President Clinton came to India, all the gifts he received was made by Amrapali. And when Mr. Obama came, then this was the same thing happening. And I was in Spain. I just want to share an incident. At that time, President Trump came to India. And I thought this is in my business history in life, only 3 presidents came to India and 2 got Amrapali pieces, but I did not do anything for Mr. Trump. So I was in Spain, and in the morning when I got up at 7 o'clock, my phone was full with messages, and everyone was congratulating me that Melania Trump was wearing Amrapali earring. And then for 2 days when she was in India, so I did not know how she got it. So she sent her stylist to India, procured Amrapali pieces, and when she traveled here, she was wearing. We did not make as a gift from the Prime Minister or from the President or the Chief Minister. So what is your audience? If you want to become a mass market brand, then you have to do a different way. If you want to become a brand which can produce small quantities, but you do a lot of value addition and you can sell expensive, then you should have a different approach. But branding is very, very important, and you will be successful when you are truthful. When you make your product what you promise, you deliver better than that. Even your packaging, even your marketing, we are very poor in marketing and packaging. So when I went to abroad in 1985 first time and got Galerie Lafayette, Le Bon Marché, Globus, Liberties, name any world departmental store to India, they always said that we get poor quality product from India. And I'm sorry to say, this was our impression. It has changed now. So we have to be very, very clear what we say, and that should also be delivered to our customer. Yes. If any question regarding this, because I can keep keep speaking for a few hours, you know.
We'd all love to hear you, but yes, we are going to run out of time. I just wanted to go to Parag Bhai. I wanted to go to Jayanti Bhai, everybody else, including Sabjasha ji, and also Arlanandan, as to their maybe closing statements. We've been here today. We've all shared the stage. We have a lot more people joined in. We are at 9:33 right now. So essentially, what is the message that needs to go out, to everybody, that there's a huge market if we are able to put together our forces, combine our strengths, and look at a focused approach to exporting throughout the world. I don't think it's a very difficult task. So, Parag bhai, we can start by you.
Yes, you rightly said, Vinod bhai, but let me congratulate Rajiv bhai. Really inspiring of what he said about his jewelry manufacturing and the people he shared the experience. It's a wonderful and inspiring कि हमको भी लगता है कि हमको भी ये follow करना चाहिए. Thank you for it. And as you said, the right message to me is that we are in the right industry where you have an opportunity to grow, because the government is very serious, the council is very serious. Definitely the challenges, as mentioned by the few of us, are there, but there where the opportunity lies. And there are many, as we are growing very fast, and the modern technologies, all the informations, I guess, are also available on the internet to do the businesses, how to, all the procedures. But definitely, yeah, there is always a scope of improvement. But there are many areas which it's not in our hand. So we only have in our hand is, to perform. So I just generally, what we follow in Hare Krishna today and at Krishna is just to keep on doing it, because that's the challenges happens. And हम तो ऐसे सोचते हैं कि ये challenges है तभी जाके हमारे पास scope है बढ़ने का, नहीं तो कहाँ है, सब जन कर सकते तो हम कैसे बढ़ते. So this is what we are looking at. And as Neetu mentioned about his small time challenges, and Pooja mentioned it, there can be an idea where I definitely Gems and Jewellery are taking a lot of pains and initiative to build on. But you guys can always keep on sending the messages or your area of constraints to them where they can work it. तो आप लगातार उनको बताते रहेंगे आपके जो भी दिक्कतें हैं या तो जो भी है. तो क्या है, जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरी तो हमारे पास काउंसिल है जो कि इतनी सीरियस है, वो लोग डेफिनेटली कहीं ना कहीं वो एरिया पे काम करते ही होंगे, या तो कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म बनी जाएगा. जैसे आपने बताया वैसा कि भाई जयंती भाई ने भी बात की थी, उनको भी मालूम है छोटी छोटी जो भी एरियाज है, तकलीफें हैं. सो एक कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म है तो बन ही सकता है. और नेक्स्ट एंटरप्रेन्योर, इनको तो अभी हो गया, लेकिन जो नेक्स्ट आएंगे उसको भी इसका सपोर्ट मिल जाएगा. क्योंकि देयर आर हम जो खुद करते हैं ना, हमारे को जो पेन आता है ना, दैट्स अ राइट वे ऑफ लर्निंग, और ये दूसरे को आता ही है. एज नीतू मेंशन्ड, सेम थिंग वाज हैपेंड टू मी लॉन्ग बैक इन 2002 व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड. वी डोंट नो द प्रोसीजर्स, बीइंग इनटू मुंबई, बीइंग इनटू सीप्स, फिर भी हमको प्रोसीजर नहीं मालूम था. सो इट इज अगेन रिपीटेटिंग हैपन. लेकिन जितनी बार आप काउंसिल को, या तो जो भी राइट एरिया है, सपोजिंग सूरत में है तो सूरत काउंसिल में हम बताते रहेंगे तो वो लोग करते ही, ये लोग बैठे हैं करने के लिए और ये करेंगे. लेकिन राइट आदमी को इन्फॉर्मेशन पूछो तो राइट जवाब मिलता है. हमारी भी बहुत टीम है तो हम भी टीम को बोलते हैं आप राइट आदमी को राइट सवाल पूछना. मार्केटिंग वाले को फाइनेंस का जवाब पूछोगे तो उसके हिसाब से जवाब देता है, अपने को लगता है जवाब नहीं मिला. वैसे भी जैसे भी ये सारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस है इतने बड़े, इसमें भी बहुत बड़े लोग हैं, बहुत सारे लोग हैं, तो राइट आदमी को जाके अगर पूछोगे ना तो राइट जवाब मिलता है. और मेरा तो एक ही मानना है कि हम लोग ये ब्लेस्ड इंडस्ट्री के अंदर है, जो कि लोगों का एस्पिरेशन है और दिन भर दिन बढ़ता ही है. लोगों के पास पैसे बढ़ते ही है, आप मानो नहीं मानो, जो भी है चैलेंजेस आए हैं, जो भी पेंडेमिक भी आ गया उसमें भी लोग बढ़े ही है. जैसे सूरत में उन्होंने बोला कि इतनी 450 फैक्ट्री और भी आ रही है. अभी यही प्लेटफॉर्म पे बात हुई, तो कब आएगी? अपॉर्चुनिटी बढ़ रही है, तो अपॉर्चुनिटी चैलेंज है, वहाँ ही अपॉर्चुनिटी है. तो जितने भी है तो एक क्लियर मैसेज है कि ये हमारी अपॉर्चुनिटी है, हमको इसमें बढ़ना है. और जैसे जस्ट एक मिनट ऑफ द ट्रैक बात कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन ब्रांडिंग की बात कर रहे थे राजीव जी. सो ब्रांडिंग इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. हमने किया है कृष्णा के अंदर, एंड द जर्नी इज ऑल्सो वेरी वंडरफुल, वेरी ब्यूटीफुल एंड मोस्ट चैलेंजिंग. हमारे इतने सारे बिजनेस है, उसमें छोटा पार्ट कृष्णा का है ओवरऑल में, लेकिन हाईएस्ट चैलेंजिंग बिजनेस है. लेकिन उसमें मजा भी आता है. दैट्स ऑल.
मजा भी आता है. वेरी करेक्ट, वेरी करेक्ट, very correct. Thank you very much. I'd like to go to Satinder ji. Satinder ji, you heard a lot of challenges, आ रही हैं, तो आप क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे, from UPS side to all the budding entrepreneurs that we have here, who may need support, who may need help?
So, Vinodji, in terms of challenges, just to share about, there can be majorly there can be a lot of challenges, but major category there are 4 challenges which the customer can face in this segment. First is connectivity to the international market for export is absolutely a key. What this requires is a global network providing capacity and connection to SMB involved in the gems and jewelry trade. At UPS, we connect SMBs to more than 220 countries and territories worldwide. We provide them essential knowledge of new market for business expansion, wherever they need support from UPS in terms of destination. We provide capacity. Okay. For gems and jewelry, US, Europe, and UK are some of the key international export markets, and these are the major destination for inspiring and the existing business, entrepreneurs. Second is compliance, which can be challenging since it depends on to the local rules and regulation at the destination site. Therefore, we provide an expert brokerage clearance, to our customers. Accurate product pricing is one of the important factor, and we make sure that customer that trade with UPS is having a visibility of the landed cost, because this is critical for every entrepreneur to know what will be the landed cost at the destination for my product, what his buyer is going to pay in terms of destination charges. Speed to market is the third critical requirement and success factor of SMBs. These are precious and time sensitive spent. There are dedicated time slot is given to the consignee. They are being purchased, for some functions or from, so we provide them same day clearance and a priority connection out of India. So jewelry is one of the priority segment for UPS and especially for the SMB involved in that. Lastly, as I shared earlier, there is a visibility and predictability in supply chain, overall supply chain for each segment, and this is critical for jewelry segment. UPS technology tools helps in end-to-end tracking and tracing of shipments.
Sure.
Our digital integration and technology process capabilities provide improved shipping visibility throughout the supply chain. So that every step of the shipment, we make sure that our customers are aware where the shipment is. So they are not concerned in terms of where my shipment is or where is my order. And who is ever is dealing into e-commerce, they know that this is one of the highly asked questions from them, where is my order? So with our technology, with our visibility and predictability, they can easily share with customers. So this is how these 4 challenges are covered by UPS, and we are there to support SMBs in our logistic network.
Thank you very much, Satyenderji. I'd like to go to my friend Mr. Ray, Sabyasachi Ray. Sir, what are your final comments on what should entrepreneurs do, those that are looking at exports as a big opportunity in front of them in the gems and jewelry sector?
Thank you, Vinod Kumarji. See, today's session is absolutely, it is very important for me because, see, it is direct interaction with our members. To a lot of what Rajiv ji has told, what Pooja ji has told, everybody, it of course means sense to us. See, today we are having more than 8,000 members. Now, I will just give you just a ringside view. For the council, like big firms like as Paragji is there, HK, etc., it's very big firms. So for them, council, of course, council is there. For them, it's a different purpose for what council is there. But we exist in at least it is to my, intent is that we exist for the smaller people. As you MSME, SME Forum, this is very important because in the end of the day, who are exporters, they are having their wherewithal, they are having with them the people to do that, they are having with them the knowledge to do that. Like the access of Rajiv ji or Parag ji may not be available to Pooja ji or Neetu ji. This is what Jayanti Bhai is there from Surat. He understands what I am talking about. So it is very important for us to facilitate the lower rung of that means the lower mass, the base. For council, we never forget about that. So today I have heard one big issue is that skilling, there is an issue. But skilling, I can tell you that council is already having institutes like IIGJ, anything, any type of skills. If the members want, they should write to us and immediately we will arrange for that. That is a commitment. Second thing is that information. Of course, that is very important, the information. Information on both types, like how the market, etc. I would suggest all of you that you go to the council's website, you go on reading, now we have made everything digital. So it is very, like if you have the app from there, you can have the access very easily. In the website, we have put a bot also. Right now, what we are saying that any question, any small question also you are having as a member, you challenge us. So there we have the bot. So you ask that question and I challenge you that you will get it, the answers within 48 hours. We have a call center running. So we are doing all these things. We call it a help desk. There's a number which we are quoting. Before you used to, you used to lose, like Parag Bhai is telling, we do not know whom to address, etc. Now we have also obliterated that. So we have a number, you call the number, the call center will find that who are the guy who will be answering that. So that way it challenge. So right now when Nituji was telling, you ask us, ask the call center, ask the bot, any medium, what you want. You please ask and we will be there to answer this thing. So this is very important that you utilize the council to your benefit. Like when you are talking about what are the regulations that is abroad, I'll just give you a very small example. Like what is there in, see, everybody knows how to export to USA, what are the what are the measures, how you go through the export. So but where, let's say Lebanon, a small country, how to export, I'm just giving a very rough short example. So if you go in the website, you'll see that we are recently doing many new India Global Connects. India Global Connects is for the members. You should get connected to understand that how they export, because we are putting both the exporters of our country who are exporting in those remote markets, and also the industry of that market will be there. And there is webinar. If you go to our YouTube site, we have a channel there. In that channel, you can hear that what we have, let's say, if we are talking about Oman. So Oman, what other discussion, what the Oman businessman is selling, whatever goods they'll require. So this kind of, hand-holding is also there. So, and one big issue, what everybody was discussing, the next, what we are looking at is the e-commerce. See, as a council, we have taken it a mission. Arulanandanji is also here. We have taken it a mission, and Ministry of Commerce, what they have done, you have heard what the finance minister has told in the budget. In the budget, she has specifically mentioned that for e-commerce for gems and jewellery will be facilitated by June. That is a commitment the government of India has given. What right now, Satinder, we are also working with UPS. See, one of the biggest thing, as Nituji is telling, that let's say if you're from a remote area like Jammu, how to export from there? Every time, why you have to rush to Delhi or something like that? So we are working with India Posts, and of course there are challenges. They are trying to get connected digitally, etc. One of the things what India Post and we are working with them is that from 800 cities in India, you only want to export, you can export. That's how it is. Period. There is nothing more than that. Second thing is the compliance, because you understand that because of FATF laws, etc., foreign exchange, there's a lot of compliance. Of course, when we talk about like when Parag is there, he exactly has the idea what is the compliance. But maybe a small exporter is not having that. When the foreign exchange comes, whatever reporting will be there. So we have already have an MOU, and if you go to the council website again in the app also, one step compliance through ICICI. Your entire foreign exchange, how it is coming, what type of shipping bill, what type of GR, everything is there. So these are small issues what we are doing. We are also doing training sessions every month. So I am very surprised, Nituji, you should be part of this training session. These are all online, you have to just connect. And if you are not there, go to the YouTube channel, what we are having. The training sessions are recorded. You should see that what people have told. That is exactly what doing they have told. We do not believe, just lecturing and okay, some people have told, etc. These are procedures, but who exactly are doing, exactly on ground what you are facing. So it is very important that all these needs, whatever you're having, please explore councils, different mediums. Now, these are all social mediums. So you go to the social mediums. Yes, we understand that to get connected to our members is one issue what we are every day we are evolving. We have created WhatsApp groups also. In that also you can prove in. So it is very important that we explore and challenge the council. And it is very surprising also to know about the international lab. Now international labs, council also having labs. Beyond that also, if you have any requirement or any certification, please come to the council, we'll guide you. Of course, I do not want to name any company right now in this medium, but of course, one-to-one, based on the requirement, we can guide. All these things are available, and this is how we are. And we are, see, just now as we are told that when the government, before council membership was compulsory to export, RCMC was compulsory. Now it is not compulsory. However, we have grown, we'll be touching by next year some 8 to 9,000 members. We are growing every day. So that means our members are supporting what we are doing, and thanks to all of you.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Ray. It's such a pleasure. I'd go now for the final comments of the day before we close to Mr. Ablananda. And for his, you've heard, sir, everybody one by one. You've also heard comments on what you pointed out earlier. So, what are your closing comments for all of us and the 1,262 people right now who have joined us?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Vinod. Number one, we would like to hear from you through emails, whatever feedback or requirements. Mail IDs are available in Department of Commerce website. Please do write to us. That is how we learn from you and for further action. Number one. Number two, there are two issues flagged by Ms. Neetu Bhatt. I learned that she's from Jammu. I would like to flag it to Mr. Sabyasachi that a few years back, there was a outreach training program by the GJEPC in Jammu Kashmir, and which was quite success. So please look into, because we cannot create infrastructure in every town and city. It is not immediately feasible. Where you have 5-6 training institute, please plan some outreach program where you don't have, where there's a requirement. This is a suggestion from me. And regarding e-commerce, as it was mentioned regarding the June thing, that this is a big opportunity, and I'm sure all of you will cash in on it. And regarding one more aspect regarding international standard testing laboratories, this is something we need to look into it. This is engaging our attention to for quite some times, and we would like to hear formally from you and for further action at our end. Thank you very much, and I wish all the best and a big success for such events. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all my panelists. It's been a delight being with all of you on the same panel. We've had very short time today. I'd love to speak to each one of you individually. I think thousands of people will love to hear all of you individually, your experiences, and that is how I think we will be able to give back to the society. With that, I pass back to Pranav. He can take this further. It was a pleasure talking to all of you. Thank you very much.
Session today. As from the discussion, we saw that the sector has immense scope for growth in both the cases when we talk about domestic demand as well as exports. The industry needs to build advanced manufacturing capabilities, focus on skill development, and strengthen the retail infrastructure. Government support and enabling policies has gone a long way in ensuring that India's gem and jewellery sector thrives and contributes to the economy. So right now, let us understand what exactly is this India Export Portal. Well, the India Export Portal is an export information hub which has helped exporters from various different sectors to get all the knowledge about exporting under one umbrella. The portal has several different tabs, which includes tabs for incentive schemes and government schemes, export potential tab, export information tab, export banking and finance tab, logistics and warehousing tab, and e-commerce. So with this, I thank each and every panelist, Mr. Sri Arula Nandan. I thank Sabyasachi Ray, Jayanti Bai Savalia, Neetu Bali, Ms. Pooja Mehta, Mr. Parag Shah, Mr. Satyendra Singh, and our very own Mr. Vinod Kumar. I also thank Ministry of MSME and NSIC, Government of India, for the support. And I also thank our logistics and warehousing partner, UPS. I also thank our banking partner, Kotak Mahindra Bank. And thank you to all the attendees who have joined us today's session. I also thank our SDRC International Knowledge Partners. Thank you, Namaskar, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Pranav. Thank you, Vinodji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Some say that healthcare is broken. They say